everybody. Today we are reviewing Flash Season 5, Episode 4, New Flash.
Yep.
So in this episode, we get to see a little bit more and get to know a little bit more of what happened to Nora, and it's revealed why she and Iris doesn't get along, well, in her timeline.
Yeah.
And we also get to see that when DeVoe crashed that satellite thingy, it spreaded dark matter not just to humans, but it can go to anything.
Yes, so it's gone to your technology, and it has revealed essentially DeVoe's plan, his master plan, succeeded in a way. Because although he may not have neutered everyone's minds and made it where they would go back to primitive mindsets, but it has created a whole new sense of world, and so it's kind of like a secondary effect to his master plan. And we found out that the reason why Cicada is the way he is because of that. Is because Cicada was hit by dark matter and a part of that satellite, which caused him to become a meta. But so he pretty much absorbed all of the powers in a way that DeVoe had been developing. And so that's why he, as you guys saw in episode 3, when he ran away, he didn't just run away, he flew away, And the thing is, and you can either chalk it up to that or that he's still learning his powers because he's still a young meta. But his body, definitely you can see his body is unstable. And the reason why he wears the mask is because of the fact that he can't, it's hard for him to breathe in air.
Yeah.
Because his body's unstable.
It's the dark matter satellite thingy hits that lightning bolt. That's why he has it.
Right.
And so in this episode, we get to see that this other girl who she's like a blogger, what is it, Spencer Young? I think that's her name.
Yeah.
She's like a competitor against Iris, and she's always her blog is always on spot and everything, and everybody's enjoying it and everything. And you get to see that her phone, it has dark matter in there, and it can create that for her.
Yeah.
Therefore, it can manipulate who she wants it to manipulate. It's hypnotizing. Right. Therefore, she gets to write top blog stories about it.
So now we have just regular humans, but they have access to dark matter, dark energy, meta tech now, which makes things trickier for the Flash team because they now have to not just worry about meta humans, but they have to now worry about meta tech. And as you guys remember from season 3, just the selective people that had access to meta tech, it allowed them to do crazy things. So now you can just imagine on a grander scale in this season that, now you have a person like her who she uses it for her own gains, financial gains, but she's willing to go to the extremes, and that's going to put people in danger.
Yeah, and then so for Nora's story, we get to see why her and Iris don't get along.
Right, sad.
And it's because Iris put a chip in her, which is basically the
negative speed.
Negative speed.
Yeah,
so,
I think it was that Speed Force dampener thing that she put in her glove, whatever.
In the beginning.
So I think it's either that or it's some kind of version of it.
Some kind of version of it. So she, growing up, she never knew that she had her speed power until she learned it. I mean, she's been studying everything about her dad, and then she learned that she has it, and it got taken out. So therefore, she started using her powers.
Right.
So we get that, and first, it was just a conversation between her and Iris, and then she gets mad about it. And then Barry goes and said, what if for whatever reason your mom made it was for the right choice.
Right.
And I support her. That got Nora very, very angry because just when she thought that, her dad was going to be on her side, her dad didn't choose her side. So she ends up at Grandpa Joe and she stays with Grandpa Joe.
Right. The interesting part is that she said it wasn't Iris who told her
she found out
powers. So someone told her that she had the Speed Force. So there is, we're gonna find out who's the person that told her that she has the ability of the Speed Force in the future episodes. So we're starting to learn more and more why Iris and Nora do not get along, and I feel there's more reasons rather that it's not just that. And I feel like we're gonna truly find out what's her real reason why she's here.
Yeah, honestly, my guess from what just happened in the last episodes is she from what she stated, I feel like she lived in the same house with Iris, but she just didn't speak to Iris.
Right.
And so therefore she doesn't meet Cisco or Caitlin and them, because basically Iris, I'm pretty sure Iris is just keep my daughter out of it. So she doesn't know any of them. She knows them, but she doesn't work with them.
Right.
And so I'm sure she runs into someone at the Flash Museum because she goes so much to the point where she learns everything inside out of it. And I'm sure someone there knows, and someone has been seeing her, and they finally told her the truth.
Right.
That she does have the speed, and they were able to, detect it in her that it is hidden right here. And they took it out, therefore she got her speed. And I think she learned how to use it, and then she was told that you can time travel, and that's why she time traveled to this time period where Flash is at, so she can meet her dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, we did get to see an interesting part about her abilities. She has the ability to run so fast that she can reverse time in an area. So it's not that she'll run back in time like Barry, where Barry, if he runs too fast, he'll time travel either to the future or to the past. Whereas Nora can run so fast that she rewinds time.
She can control within that time she's at.
Within a certain space, she can rewind that time to allow her to catch up. And so we did get to see that in this past episode, that when Barry was running, Barry kept running faster and faster, and then she ran faster and faster and rewinded him to her. And that's interesting because, as you guys know, they're twins, but one of the twins has the ability to do that, which I believe was the son had the ability to run so fast that he would rewind time just by running so fast. And it's surprising they gave that ability to her. So it kind of for me, it's kind of like saying that she doesn't have a twin. Yeah, that we're combining both of them together. And so she has the son's ability, and she also has hers. So it's
she has two. That's why she has two colors.
Yeah. On her. So I guess they're pretty much explaining to us viewers through showing the actions that there are no twins. Yeah, that we combined the characters together.
So for this week's episode, we got to know a little bit more about Sakata and got to know that there are meta tech, and got to know a little bit more about Nora's. And so next week we get
the Halloween special.
The Halloween special, which I do not look forward to. I hate horror.
It's a week late.
It's a week late, but still.
It's gonna be interesting because
all dolled up.
Yeah, it seems like this is just a person whose mask must have gotten struck by the dark matter. So when the person puts it on, they become like a sinister killer. So it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. It's one of those things where I think it's going to explain a lot that we're going to get to see more of Ralph and Sherlock working together to solve stuff like this.
Yeah, because as of now, we know for sure that Cisco is on a hideout, so he's going to be like coming here and there only.
Right.
He's laying low. And at the same time, we're getting Caitlin doing her own things on the side, trying to find her dad. So we're going to get to see more of Ralph interacting this season.
Right. Not just that, but because... And there's an importance of him and Sherlock. Because the thing is, the meta-humans... Flash typically can deal with meta-humans. Because they are metas. So they treat them differently. But regular humans who have meta tech kind of pose a different problem because they're still regular people. And so Flash can't just go and punch them. They'll die if he goes and like punches them. So he has to catch them like how he caught Spencer. But you guys saw that Spencer's tech was able to control the Flash and made him run from
Central City
all the way to Las Vegas. So there is going to be a problem that Barry's going to have to deal with going against Metatech because they don't know, because that's the thing is they don't know where the tech is, what the tech has affected, and how it's affected it. They just know that the people get affected by it. So...
and like you have to keep in mind, like Ralph will be able to do a little bit more of his detective because before he got fired, he was a better detective than Barry was.
Right.
And because he trusted his gut, and it got him fired, and he became a PI and everything like that. But you could see it when this past episode of him putting his detective mind to work. He was able to solve things, and basically we get the whole Sherlock and Watson between him and Harrison. The Sherlock Wells. Yeah,
both guys are kind of fighting to be Sherlock.
Yeah,
to point to prove the other guy that they're Watson.
Yeah,
but it's cool. It's cool because we're gonna get to see Ralph play a bigger role than he did last season. So which I like because his character's a good character. His character's a really good character in the story. He kind of grounds Barry from being the Flash. He grounds him and makes him understand that at the end of the day, you're Barry Allen. Before you're the Flash. So figure things out being Barry Allen first.
I like that because I really, really enjoyed it in season 1 when Oliver Queen came and he said to Barry, we heroes, we don't get the girl. And like I understand, Barry is now married to Iris and everything, but this is like the different timeline. If he wasn't stuck in his original timeline, he probably wouldn't get Iris for a long time,
Yeah.
But it's just like in the Arrow, it took him 5-6 seasons to just be with Felicity now, so it's stuff like that.
Right.
And it's like someone to pretty much snap Barry back to reality, that this is reality. And so Ralph is kind of like doing that now, but instead of being in a different city like Oliver, Ralph is next to Barry.
Right, he has his own way of doing it. He has his own way of doing it, and we got to see that in last season's Flash, where he made Barry understand certain things by not just relying on his speed. So that him and Sherlock are definitely going to solve this case because he helped Sherlock realize that this cicada is different because the timeline changed. Because Nora changed the timeline, this cicada is different. So I expect that there's going to be a lot more of them two interacting together, and they're going to be the ones to really crack the case of who is Cicada.
Yep. That is it for this week's Flash review, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Alright. Peace out.